Hello, everybody. Okay, so the other day in my Abandoning Perfection journal, I took one of these used baby wipes. They are they have covered with paint. They're the ones I have used to clean up my table. And they have such pretty color paint on them, and yet they are, they're something that most people would throw in the trash, but you know me. I took one of them and turned it into a tassel for my Abandoning Perfection journal. And I thought, okay, I really should give you a little tutorial on how to do that. Bring you in close, let you see what I've done. You can even see my handprint on this where I used it to clean up the table. Anyways, there's all kinds of tassel tutorials out there. I am sure lots of people have made tassel tutorials, but I thought, okay, I am going to show you what I do and explain how I do it. So I just simply, because I wanted this to be fluffy, I actually folded it in half this way. And then I folded it down here like this. And I did that partially because I did not want to have to spend 5 days cutting this up. And I just cut small little pieces. They're about 1/4 of an inch. Now you could also do this with a dryer sheet. No reason why not. You could do it with a piece of fabric. Because this is folded right here, I just went in here and I trimmed up this way. There we go. Okay. Then I opened this back up and I rolled it. Now you notice I left this place in the middle. It's just, if you're making this from one piece of something, there's no reason to cut it all the way through. That just makes it a little harder to hold on to. This, just makes it easy. You see how I just rolled it up. Now I need a short piece of string. Then I'm going to need a longer piece, and that was one of the things I did wrong on the video. I did not give myself enough thread. You want enough cord, thread, whatever you're going to use to tie this. And this is just inexpensive baker's twine from Dollar Tree. You could use crochet thread. You could use embroidery floss. You can use any kind of thread. Yarn, but yarn is stretchy. It's a little harder to work with. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this around here, right in the middle. Come here. Get caught on my rough fingers. And I'm going to tie this really tight right here in the middle. Tight as I can. I'm not going to worry about it. This is my string so I can attach it to something. Okay? Now when I fold it in half, and I fluff it up, see, it's all fun. But when I fold it in half, if you have trouble, do a little clip. And the reason we want a really long piece of string is what we're going to do is do a wrap that you can just pull it and cut off the threads. I don't. I usually like to have a knot in my thread, just because I don't always trust that the thread's going to hold. Now this clamp's going to get in my way, so I'm just going to hold it. What I've done is, you can see that I have, and I made this kind of long because the last time I made it too short and it was a pain, but just give yourself enough thread that you're not going to have to fight with it. And I'm going to hold this and fold it, and I'm going to put this little loopy end down here. Now this is in my left hand, and I'm going to use my right hand to wrap. Okay, so this is the new piece of thread. This is my piece I've tied as a holder. This is my new piece of thread. This is the long piece. And I'm going to take this long piece and I'm going to start at the top and wrap back this way. Okay? There's a loop down here, and I want to wrap back towards the loop. I'm going to pull that loop a little shorter. So I'm going to start up here. Get these out of the way. And I want to make a nice little wrap. Okay, now you want to pull this snug. You want to pull it sort of as snug as you can get it. Okay, the tighter it is, the better your knots will stay. Plus it makes it more fluffy. Now, when at a certain point you can, you can go with your left hand. Basically what I've done is I have coiled it. See here, I've laid them side by side till I have about a ½ inch. Now I have this loop. Sorry, almost off camera. I apologize. I have this loop and I have this long tail, and I'm going to stick this long tail through this loop. Now this time I have too much thread, but that's okay. I'd rather have too much thread and cut it off than to not have enough. Okay, so now my tail is through this loop. Gotta watch what you're doing here. These are the two I tied that they're gonna attach my tassel. This is the one that's hiding underneath this coil, and I'm just gonna tug on it. You see what's happening? That little loop is getting smaller. Until it's right there right now. That edge of that loop is right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that loop underneath the coil. Okay? Now, if this is tight enough, you can just cut these off. I never trust them, so I usually just tie a gentle knot in here. Now, oh, how about that? Because we have enough thread, look what we can do. We can make a cute little bow right here. If I hadn't had enough thread, like on my tassel and my Abandoning Perfection journal, I just tied a knot. But right now, I am tying a cute little bow. We're going to make it a little smaller. I'm going to cut these off. And because I tied this bow and I don't want it to accidentally unpull, I'm going to actually put a little dot of glue in there. just for the bow, not for the knot so much, but for the bow, because the bows will get untied. And this art glitter glue will dry clear, so now what we can do is we can fluff up our little tassel. And how about that? Isn't that a cute little tassel that we have made? Let's just dab that so it doesn't look so obnoxious. We made a cute little tassel with a used baby wipe. How about that? Now we could use a piece of fabric. We could have used a lot of things, but I used a baby wipe. And how about how much fun is it to use something that was headed for the trash? Okay, guys, let's read a quote from our 1001 Ways. Oh, let's bring you in really close. You can see it up close and personal. Yep. There you go. We'll read from 1001 Ways to Creativity. One of the things I learned the hard way was that it doesn't pay to get discouraged. Keeping busy and making keeping busy and making optimism a way of life can restore your faith in yourself. Lucille Ball. How wonderful is that? Okay, guys, go have fun. Make some art. Bye-bye.